This is our CDL group, Crystal, Derek, and Lee. In process flow diagram, we were able to use three main steps: roasting, boiling water, and French press. To process these three main steps, we have to use some equipment: the Nesco roaster, the grinder, the electric kettle, the French press, the kilowatt meter and weight scale. As we start our roasting process, we need to wash hands in order to do anything else. After we inserted 140 grams of green beans in the roaster, we also set our energy meter in order to see how many kilowatts we use. We put the green beans and set up the time for 22 minutes. We ended up collecting less than 1 grams of chaff and using about 0.22 kilowatts per hour. The next step is grading. We got our cool-down coffee beans and put 20 grams into the grinder. Our group decided to set the green size to 20. Continuing our project, we started our boiling process. We needed about 260 grams of water. After placing the water into our electric kettle, we also placed our energy meter. We set up the kettle to about 85 degrees, which starting point was 18 degrees, and using about 0.02 kilowatts per hour. Let's start our brewing process. First, we place 20 grams coffee into French press. Second, we place the boiling water into it. We let the coffee grounds and water brew about 150 seconds. Then, we gently pressed and carefully collected the coffee. Our final project, we collected about 210 grams of coffee. The flavor was very smooth, quick-sour, and pleasant. We like this very much. Our logic for energy minimization. First, we only use one type roast coffee bean. Second, we use French press instead of Mr. Coffee. We also wanted to know the TDS for our brew. Before we placed any coffee into our TDS measure, we cleaned it up and make sure there was no leftover coffee from a different group. After we placed our coffee, make sure there was no bubbles and had enough sample on it. We were able to collect our data and clean it up. The final process was cleaning, which consisted of getting the coffee waste, washing the French press, and placing everything back. As we finished our calculations, we found out our brew ratio was about 13. The TDS was 1.2% and the PE was 19%. In conclusion, in our project, we did pretty well, but we believe that we can improve on making our green size a lot more coarse in order to get a better PE. As this course comes through end, we learned many challenging and exciting details about the coffee and the collection.